Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is a wildly beautiful day outside, but inside the world of Genoa City, things are incredibly dark and messy. We have so much to unpack today, so grab a coffee and let's just get straight into the absolute chaos that is currently destroying multiple families. So let's start with Abby and Devin, because things are getting really intense with them right now. You know the whole situation with Mariah Copeland. She kidnapped baby Dominic. And it was a huge nightmare for everyone involved, but especially for Devin and Abby. They were terrified. They thought they lost their son forever. And now Mariah is getting this plea deal. Thanks to Christine, she gets probation, and she has to go to a psychiatric facility. But she avoids actual prison time, and Devin is just not having it at all. He is furious. And honestly, can you blame him? I mean, his kid was taken, stolen right out from under them. So Abby is at society, just trying to get through the day, trying to act normal when nothing is normal. And she runs into Daniel Romalotti, which is interesting, because Daniel is super close to Tessa Porter right now, and Tessa is married to Mariah. So Daniel is basically right in the middle of all this drama. Even if he is just trying to play matchmaker and help them fix their marriage. But Abby sees him, and she knows he has a connection to the other side of this mess. She knows he talks to Tessa. So she walks up to him, and she starts asking questions. She wants to know what Mariah's future plans are. Like what is going to happen next with her now that she got this slap on the wrist. And Daniel is not stupid. He looks at Abby, and he can see how stressed out she is. He can see the anger and the worry just rolling off of her in waves. So he just says it straight. He says, I guess you're not okay with this, meaning the plea deal, meaning the fact that Mariah is not going to sit in a cold jail cell for what she did. And of course Abby is not okay with it. How could she be? But she doesn't just scream at him in the middle of the restaurant. Instead they start talking about Dominic, because Daniel asks how the baby is doing, which is a nice thing to ask. A normal human thing to ask. But Abby's answer is just heartbreaking. She says Dominic is recovering surprisingly well, which is good news. Kids are resilient. But we also know from the psychologist that Dom is having severe nightmares. So he is definitely not entirely okay. And Abby admits the dark truth. She says she constantly checks on him. Like she can't stop herself. She is just consumed by this anxiety. And she asks Daniel this really sad question. She says, what am I supposed to do with all this fear? And that is the real issue here. The kidnapping is over, but the fear is still there. It just lives inside of her now, a permanent resident in her brain, and she blames herself. Which is the absolute worst part. She actually says she blames herself for what happened, because she is the one who left Dom outside. And you just want to shake her and tell her it wasn't her fault. Mariah is the one who took him. Mariah made that crazy choice, but mom guilt is a very real thing. And Abby is drowning in it right now, so Daniel tries to be the good guy. He tries to be optimistic. He says that maybe there will be forgiveness. And maybe there will be healing for everyone involved, which is a nice thought. But let's be real here. It is incredibly naive. You don't just forgive someone for stealing your baby. You just don't. And healing takes a long time, if it ever even happens at all, especially in a town like this. And right on cue, Devin shows up, and the mood just completely shifts. You can feel the tension just spike the second he walks in. Daniel knows he is out of his depth, so he just fails. He leaves Abby and Devin alone, and that is when the real conversation starts. Abby and Devin start talking about the elephant in the room, the plea deal. And how everyone in town is saying that this is for the best. Everyone is saying that Mariah just needs help, that she is sick and the psychiatric facility is the right place for her to get better. But Devin is not buying that narrative, not for one single second. He looks at Abby, and he is just filled with this cold, hard rage, and he says, flat out, that he disagrees. He says, Mariah needs to be in prison, and he means it. He wants her behind bars, wearing an orange jumpsuit. He wants her to suffer for what she did to their family. And honestly, seeing Devon this angry is scary. He is usually the calm one, the rational one, but not anymore. The trauma of losing Dominic has just changed him. And let's not forget, Devon is also currently dealing with the fact that his sister Lily just faked her own kidnapping to extort Kane, so Devon is surrounded by kidnapping drama. Fake ones and real ones, and he is just done. His tolerance is at zero. And Abby sees it too. She looks at Devon, and she just looks worried. She is worried about what this anger is doing to him, because it is eating him alive. But Devon is not the only one dealing with a massive mess right now, because over at the Genoa City Athletic Club, things are just as bad for Jack Abbott, maybe even worse. Because Jack's entire life is falling apart, and it is mostly his own fault. Well, kind of his fault. It's complicated. So Jack sees Diane Jenkins Abbott, his wife, the woman who just packed up and moved out of the Abbott mansion because of the whole Patty Williams disaster, and Diane is just trying to exist. She is trying to avoid him, but Jack is desperate. He is like a drowning man grasping at straws. He just won't let it go. So Jack walks right up to her. He won't let her escape. And he just starts pleading with her right there in the GCEC. He says, "I know this is my fault, but don't let my massive mistake ruin everything we have." He is begging. He is basically on his knees emotionally. He tells her she is the only woman for him. And he begs her to let him prove it, which sounds romantic in theory, but Diane is just not having it. Her heart is completely broken. She trusted him, and he betrayed her. Even if he was drugged by Patty, the image of him with that crazy woman is just burned into her brain, and she can't erase it. And then Jack makes the biggest mistake possible. He is already in a massive hole, but he just grabs a shovel and keeps digging. He actually tries to use Victor Newman to guilt trip her. He tells Diane that if she doesn't forgive him, Victor wins, because Victor is the one who set this whole thing up. Victor is the evil mastermind who kidnapped Jack and put him on that abandoned yacht and unleashed unstable Patty Williams on him, just to ruin Jack's life and steal back Newman Enterprises. So Jack thinks he is making a good point. He thinks Diane will want to stick it to Victor by staying together and fighting back. But Diane is just stunned. She looks at him like he has two heads. She says, "Did you really just say that?" She cannot believe he is trying to manipulate her like this, using Victor as an excuse for his own actions. She is furious. She throws it right back in his face. She says, "We're in this mess because you fell into his trap." And she is right. Jack walked right into Victor's trap. He let his guard down. And now Diane is the one paying the price. She is the one whose marriage is destroyed, while Victor just sits back and laughs. So Jack realizes he messed up. He realizes it was a really stupid thing to say, and he admits it. He says it was a stupid comment, and he just goes back to begging for forgiveness. He is so pathetic in this moment, but you also kind of feel bad for him, because he was drugged. He wasn't in his right mind, but Diane is standing her ground. She is not backing down. She says she knows she is no saint. She has done terrible things in her past. We all know Diane's history, but she says she never imagined Jack doing this to her. She thought they were solid. She thought they had moved past all the drama, and she just flat out tells him she cannot forgive him right now. The wound is just too fresh. And Jack tries to explain. Again, he tells her he wasn't in his right mind. He says everything was distorted because of the drugs Patty gave him. And we know Patty is completely delusional. She is running around town telling everyone that she rocked Jack's world, which is just gross. But Diane doesn't want to hear about the drugs. She doesn't care about the logistics of it. She is just focused on the betrayal. She looks at him with so much disgust. It is actually hard to watch. And she says, "I don't understand how you could succumb to her, because Patty is crazy. Patty is unstable." And Diane just can't fathom how Jack could let that happen, even under the influence. She says, "How can I even look at you anymore?" And that is the nail in the coffin. She can't even look at his face without seeing Patty, without feeling that betrayal all over again. And right when things can't get any more awkward, Kyle Abbott shows up, Jack and Diane's son. And Kyle has been fiercely defending Jack lately. He has been fighting with Claire about this whole thing. Because Claire thinks Jack made a choice to break his vows, and Kyle knows his dad was drugged. But right now, Kyle is just here for his mom. He is protecting Diane. Diane sees Kyle, and she immediately uses him as an escape route. She tells Jack that she and Kyle have dinner plans. She is just done with this conversation. She wants to get away from Jack as fast as possible. And Jack is just standing there, looking like a lost puppy who just got kicked, and he actually asks if he can join them. He says, "Ask if I can have dinner with you." Like he is hoping Kyle will invite him along and fix everything, but Diane just shuts it down instantly. She just says, "Right," in that cold, sarcastic tone that means absolutely not. "You are not coming with us. You are not part of this dinner. You are not part of this family right now." And Jack is just left standing there in the GCC, completely alone, realizing that his marriage might actually be over for good. And honestly, it is just so hard to watch all these people tear each other apart. Devin and Abby are suffocating under the weight of their fear and anger. Jack and Diane are watching their love story burn to the ground because of Victor's sick games, and everyone is just hurting. It is a mess, a total and mitigated disaster. And I don't see how any of them are going to find their way back from this, because some things you just can't unsee, and some things you just can't forgive, even if you really want to. The damage is done, and the scars are going to be there forever, so we will just have to wait and see who survives the fallout. But right now, it is not looking good for anyone.